Hi, my name is Amy. Thank you very much for watching, and let's make some bad financial decisions together. So, today after dinner, I was playing War with my niece, and when I looked at my phone, there was a new notification on it from Robinhood, and the title was Corrections Happen Sometimes. And while I was sort of following that the market was bad today, I did not realize it was close enough to warrant an article like this. So this is what I would like to talk about today. So in this article, I think it's true that we have corrections every 1 or 2 years. That um, because of low liquidity in the summer, because that is when a lot of people take their vacations and summer break, then that can cause the market correction. But I asked Perplexity, and there's no correlation between the Summer Olympics and a market pullback. Um, then the employment numbers is just because there's a raise in the amount of people that are in the labor market. I don't follow it that closely, but for something percent, it's still a pretty good number. Like, still somewhat historically low, is just relative to recent past, it is up. So then for the earnings, there was, you know, some big companies that didn't quite make their mark, but there wasn't really anything super bad. And the stocks that I care about, it was really weird because it's like, oh, nothing bad happened, but then the stocks plummeted. Anyway, I'm sorry for yawning. Hopefully that you didn't get the contagion of that. It is kind of late, but yeah, I just when major institutions and banks are telling us that this is within normal expectations and that this is fine and you don't have to worry about the correction too much, that's when I start worrying that this is a bad correction. But as long as you've hedged yourself enough, which I have not, or you've set your trailing limits, which I started but have not completely implemented. And as long as you have money invested that can sit there for 5 to 20 years plus and it not bother you, and I've somewhat achieved this, hopefully, you'll be fine. And I guess my last thought on this is I've been hearing a lot of push for more and more drastic rate cuts quicker. And I'm not an economist. None of this is financial advice. It's not even education. This is entertainment. And I realize that what's about to come out of my mouth sounds uneducated, but sometimes you have to put your thoughts out into the world and get told you're wrong. But to me, it seems like the banks are whining because they want lower interest rates. And that's not necessarily the best for what will happen to our economy. Because in the past, when rate cuts have happened, it has actually caused a recession. So I don't blame the Federal Reserve for being cautious and using whatever multiple factors they need to indicate that they should do the rate cuts. And now the stock market has rated 100% chance of a rate cut in September, so it's already baked into the prices, and we're still seeing the correction. So if the market doesn't anticipate something because it's an emergency session and it happens quickly, then we can see the bounce back in the stock market. But I do agree that don't panic, don't sell. Definitely live through this period, and then at the end, when things are picking up again, do some self-reflection. Like, how did going through this make you feel? Were you nervous when everything went down? Did you have too much margin and were in danger of getting calls back? Do you need to create more of a hedge because it wasn't great to see your entire portfolio go down? Looking at US Bull, I really thought that was going to be a good hedge, and I think it's pretty good in most situations. It's just that we hit the one situation where it floundered. And that is a bit of a tangent from this guild message. I didn't know that I was signed up for these kind of notifications from Robinhood, but it was an interesting read, and we'll see who's right. Do we need to panic? Did we wish we sold? Do we never sell and hold? Are we glad that in 5 months, when the recession is over, that we stayed in, and now that all the shares that we didn't sell out of are gaining momentum and we're making profit? And so I'm staying in the stock market. I am buying more just so that, and on the off chance this is the worst of it, and we can live through the recovery. So what are your thoughts? Do you think that the banks have our best interests at heart and that rate cuts will be good for the economy in the long run? Do you think there's a correlation between the Summer Olympics and the stock market? And do you think that this is a regular correction? Have a good night. Stay safe out there.